Perfect. Here for that.
You want to do the intro or you want me to do it? I would prefer you to do it.
Okay. Remind me what the intro is.
Just like the welcome. I don't know because I never do it.
Right? I kind of get myself mentally prepared when it goes to the intro. Hold on, let me think. Okay.
I can pull it up on my phone real quick and.
What the fuck is up, guys? Welcome back to the most mediocre podcast on the planet. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch. Is that it?
I don't think he does the Thunderdome bitch because that's in the intro music.
What the fuck is up, everybody? Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Honestly Oversharing. I am your host for today. Well, the co-host today with me and Mr. Matt himself. Matt, say hi to the people.
What's going on, everybody?
Okay, so Matt and I were just talking and we're debating on who should do the intro for the show because Rico's absent today. And we were both talking wait, what is the intro? Regardless, we're gonna go ahead and kick the show off. We appreciate you for rocking with us. Welcome to the most mediocre podcast on the planet. Welcome to the Thunderdome people. Is that right? Nail it?
Bitches, honestly, oversharing should be probably mentioned in there, but yeah, I think that's good enough.
Regardless, it's going to be a good one, guys. I appreciate you for rocking with us, Matt.
You're now listening to the most mediocre podcast on the planet. Honestly Oversharing. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
I'm crying. I think our favorite part about our pre-show that we just had was we were both asking each other to do the intro, but we both just wait a minute, what's the fucking intro?
Yeah, because it's like you said, when Rico does it, we all just kind of zone out and get ready for the show mentally. So it was it's different. Billy does a great job with it too. Like when it was me and Billy, when I think it was when Theo was born, It worked perfectly. Billy does a really good job with the intro, but it's something that I'm uncomfortable doing the intro. Like even when me and Billy had the hockey podcast, I did not like doing it.
I'm so focused when Rico starts the intro because I know the beer segment's coming up and we have to play the favorite game. What's that beverage? How am I going to make the beverage work today? I did not prepare for this. Every time. It never fails with me. But when he's going through the intro, I'm like, okay, what are the talking points again today? Okay, how can I make a fool of myself today? Got it. How can I piss off Matt today? Those are my 3 checklists. Those are it. And then we go into the show.
All right, so I got a couple of jokes prepared, or we could go into the box of horrible dad jokes. I don't know if you have any jokes. What do you want to do with that?
I want to see you. You got jokes?
I got two. I got two off the top of my head. So, all right, I'll do my jokes. All right. What does nail polish and panties have in common?
Nail polish and panties. What? I don't know.
They both come off with a little bit of alcohol.
Oh shit. Okay, that's a little Riz there, a little Riz lord.
Right.
All right, Dan. Go ahead. What's the next one?
All right, so there's 365 days in a year, right?
Leap years, 366. But yeah, I'm with you.
For the most part, 365.
Yeah.
How many days in a year are there for an orphan?
How many?
363. There's no Father's Day. There's no Mother's Day.
I can't go on air, right? We can't release that one to the public.
We'll let Rich decide that one.
We'll leave that up to the editor.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll get into the beer. Today I brought Short's Soft Parade. I think we've done this one before, but I don't remember. We've done so many damn beer on the show. It is the epitome. Hold on, let me move my mic so I can see the screen. This is the epitome of Short's innovation and flavor, with a full pound of fresh strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberry puree, crammed into every gallon of wort for a berry immersion unlike any other. Soft Parade is not sweet, nor is it subtle. This rose-colored ale has the personality of a craft beer combined with authentic fruit flavor, finishing off incredibly dry on your palate. Here for beer enthusiasts and beer haters alike, we go ahead and create your Soft Parade story. It is a little bit higher on the ABV. It doesn't give me a number, and then it is low IBU. I believe this is actually, it's on the box. It's a 7.5 ABV. So this one will get you after a couple.
I'm just gonna stop you right there. The strides you've taken in reading American literature out loud is phenomenal. You didn't stumble once.
See, I felt like that was horrible.
No, you didn't stumble one time. Like, I feel like Rico and Billy they'll nitpick you and try to find the stumblings there. That was so good. In 2023, did you make it like on your agenda to just read better? Because that was great.
No, I didn't. But if it's a side effect of whatever else I'm doing, I will take it.
whatever else you're doing, for the sake of your brain and how it works with words on a page, doing it.
You know,
it's one of what's happening.
It's one of those things. Even in school, I was not. I could always read, but I never liked to read out loud to people off of a page.
So your worst nightmare was popcorn, Matt.
Oh my God, I feared the popcorn readings. It was my absolute nightmare.
See, for me, I was always the person that read ahead the next paragraph and like, okay, how many words are in there? Are there any shitty ones? Okay, I could handle it. Popcorn me, I could get it. But if there were some big ones in there, I go, for the love of God, if you popcorn me, I will end your life at recess. I swear to God, don't do it.
I had this one teacher who made us popcorn read Tom Sawyer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, none of us said the word.
Yeah, same thing with To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, yep.
That one.
Yep.
Like every time it came up in the word, we all just kind of looked at each other, like, I'm not gonna do it.
There was always the one black kid though that would say it.
See, I went to a Catholic school, and at the school I had, there was a lot of there's a lot of Hispanic heritage, but there wasn't a whole lot of black people in my school. There wasn't. It was me with a lot of Hispanic people. So we all did the same thing. We're all like, no shot. It's not happening. It was cancel culture for cancel culture happened. Like, there's a camera in here. It's gonna follow me around the rest of my life. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, that was always uncomfortable. All right, time for your favorite game. Even though your camera keeps getting all pixely.
Well, time out.
Our favorite game. Everyone's favorite game.
Did you take a drink?
Oh shit, no, I didn't.
Yeah, let me get a taste. Let me get the flavors. I need a rating. I need the hop to non-hop ratio, the hip to the hop, the hip hoppity, don't stop the rockin'. I need all of it. Give it to me.
See, this is one of my favorite beers. It's really flavorful. It is dry, like it says at the end, but you get all the berry flavors. Like, I'd probably say raspberry is a little bit more pronounced than the rest of them, but it's all there. It's very flavorful, very full beer. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one an 8, a solid 8 even.
Wow.
It's one of my favorites. It's one of my personal favorites. The problem with this is it will really get you fucked up really quick because it just tastes so good. It doesn't exactly taste like you're drinking a normal beer. So it's one of those ones where if you're not paying attention, you will get screwed.
So are you a big berry flavor and beer type of person? A lot of people they're like, oh, the drier the better, or the more hoppy the better. But you enjoy some fruit flavors.
I do enjoy fruit flavors. I'm one of those beer guys. There's not a style of beer out there I don't really care for. I drink most of them. I love beer is what it is. Like I'll drink porters and stouts. I'm not as big of a fan on, but everything else I've got no problem with.
I was just gonna have you rank. I want you to go top 4. I'm gonna put ales, porters and stouts, IPAs. Wait, top 3, not 4. Take that 4th out. Those 3. If you had to go 1, 2, 3, what's your 1, 2, 3?
So it was porters and stouts, ales, and IPAs is my 3 options, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go IPAs, ales, porters, and stouts.
Okay.
I am a big hophead. When there's beer with a lot of hops in it, I love it. So I'm a big hophead.
Is hophead like an industry coined thing? I've never heard that before.
I think with craft beer connoisseurs, it's when you say you're into IPAs, everyone goes, "Oh, so you're a hophead." Yeah, so it's probably an industry coin thing, but yeah, I don't know. I've heard it, so I use it.
Man, if I was a content creator, and I were doing reviews for IPAs, I think I just got the name of my entire channel, every social, Hophead, beer reviews strictly, or welcome to my new segment, Hopheads, going through IPAs. Wow. That's a cool name. I can get behind that. That's cool.
We should do some merch or something with that.
Check and see if that bitch is trademarked.
Yeah.
But what you said you're gonna introduce a game. What game you introduced today?
It's everyone's favorite game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think it's called. Actually, I forget what it's called completely. It's your thing. You usually say it.
It's What's That Beverage? Guys, welcome to the segment. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you, Matt, with a phenomenal beer review. Gave it an 8.0 on the dot. I think that's one of your higher ratings. Is that right?
I think I've had an 8.8 before, but yeah, I think it's up there. I think it's up there for one of my higher ones.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to give you guys a little synopsis into my life in the last 48 hours. Before we play What's That Beverage, I yesterday was put through the most grueling workout of my entire life that involved the worst body parts I like to work out, which would be my legs. So with that being said, the beverage of choice today is one that is a necessity for life and a necessity for me to be alive and on the show today. I'm drinking nothing but fucking water, dude. My electrolytes and my will to live is at an all-time low after my 3-hour leg day workout. Yes, 3 hours we were in the goddamn gym, Matt. That's not legal. It shouldn't be happening. There should be a time limit, and they should have kicked my ass out after an hour and a half.
I saw I saw some of your TikTok live when you were streaming that, and I was getting some laughs out of it. You were looking like you were struggling a little bit there.
Dude, we did so many workouts that I didn't know existed with my legs. Like this one, okay, I gave it a shout out on camera yesterday because we were recording it. We had lapel mics. It was my first time using those, which was so much fun. We had a stand. Phone was up. It was a great workout and a great experience. I love it. Shout out to Alex Gray at lex.gray on Instagram. Go over follow. She's an awesome content creator here in Kansas City. But I have so much respect for the females that do the hip thrust, the workout where they got the bar across their waist and they're just fucking hitting it. That is so much harder than it looks. Get my face. I'm getting serious. That is so much harder than it looks. Because I've never tried it before. I was like, oh, that's probably a great ass workout. I don't have one. I don't think I ever plan on having one. So I probably won't do it. But she made me do it yesterday. And holy shit, it is so much harder than I ever thought it was. And I was doing just plates. I was doing 45 and 45, getting after it. And she looks at me, looks down, and she goes, slaps another plate and a 25 on each side and just reps it out for 10. Just gets 10, and then on the 10th one, she holds it for 10 seconds, and then does 10 more without touching the ground, and then goes back down. She goes, that's right. I go, oh. What the fuck just happened? It was a mind-boggling experience. So back to the point in the segment we're getting to, not to get off track, I'm drinking nothing but water today.
I'm really disappointed you didn't come up with some sort of like creative description for water. Like you usually come up, even if it doesn't have a description, you'll usually come up with one. So I was a little upset with that, but I'll take it.
That just comes to show how off-kiltered I am today based off yesterday's events. Because usually I'll have the description of the liquid up on the monitor next to me. I'll read some scientific debacle of what it could possibly be. Yeah. I'm so discombobulated though. It's fucking water. I'm drinking. Guys, there's no mystery today. It's fucking water. I'm drinking it. I need it.
So here's what's different with me and you, and a lot of people really. I love leg day. I hate the side effects the day or two after, but I love leg day. I hate doing like bench press and all that stuff. I hate arm day or upper body day, whatever you want to call it. I love leg day. I live for leg day when I go to the gym on the few chances that happens.
I think leg day makes your whole body feel a lot better than if you're just doing like an arm pump, a shoulder pump, a chest pump, because it's there's more blood flow circulating and it just kind of makes you feel better when you're doing it. But I'm I have long legs. Some of the leg workouts that I do, it's I don't want to say it's harder for me than other people, but I like to tell myself that it is. So like squatting, I feel like I go down forever and I'm not getting low enough, all that kind of shit. So the long legs don't make it fun for me, in my opinion. But to your point, every female out there loves leg day, and some guys. So there's more people in this world that like it than don't. So
I think it's the other way around. I think there's more that don't like it than like it.
Dude, So it's 50-50 split on the earth, right? Of females to males. Okay?
Yep.
Every single female likes leg day more than arm day. There's might be some outliers, sure, doubtful, and then there's some guys that love it. So my brain mathematically, people love leg day.
All right, I know this isn't the topic, but we're kind of going down a wormhole here that I kind of like. So
Okay.
I've got a theory on that, off of what
hit
you
me
just
with
said. So it's all about attracting the opposite gender, usually, or the gender you're going after. So girls like guys, a lot of girls like guys with muscles that are ripped, chest, biceps, all that, right?
Just at me already, dude.
Yeah. Put the Nerf gun away.
Come on.
So obviously guys focus on those areas more, their chest, their arms, all that stuff.
Guys love ass, man. Just say it. We do.
Right. That's where I was getting to, is guys like toned legs, like ass, like all that. So that's naturally, I think, what women tend to work out more. I'm not trying to be sexist by saying all this. I think it's, but off of what you just said, girls like to work their lower bodies more, the legs
God
more.
Damn you for having an opinion, Matt. Fuck.
I mean, it's just off of what you said, that seems to make sense in my mind. That's kind of how I work it out logically and how it makes sense.
No, I'm with you 100%. Guys work out their arms and their chests because the first thing a female sees is their upper body.
Right.
First thing a guy sees when they see a girl is her beautiful eyes and personality. But when she turns around, we see the rumpus in the thighs. We're like, oh shit, now I have to have her.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into the topic, one more thing that you've been doing a lot lately that is frankly pissing me off. You're making me very upset, and it may be out of pure jealousy, but you're pissing me off.
You have my attention.
Stop these golf TikToks at this time of year. I'm so fucking jealous of you because real Midwest here, you guys aren't real Midwest. You don't have snow on the ground right now. Real Midwest is still dealing with the issues of snow, which is bullshit. If you saw my TikTok yesterday, you know how upset I am about that. I should not have gotten 7 fucking inches of snow in the beginning of March. But seeing you golf on a real golf course, not a simulator, I can go do simulators all day. Seeing you golf on a real golf course is pissing me off. Every time I see those TikToks, I wish there was a dislike button.
I'm just going to tell you right now. This has been my schedule. Ready? Friday after work, driving range for an hour and a half. Yesterday, 8:45 tee time. Played 18 holes of the golf course at 1:15. Today, 3 p.m. tee time, 9 holes. 3 days in a row of nothing but getting better and getting after it. And let me tell you something. This whole comment about the Midwest thing, I'm going to let it slide. And here's one reason why. Northern California is also getting snow, and they're not the Midwest right now, okay? So just because I'm having sunshine a little bit between my shitty days, because everybody that lives in Kansas knows and understands that you get 75 and sunny and then 32 and snowing in a 24-hour period. And that's not something we're like, oh, this is unordinary. Happens all the time because we live in the fucking Midwest, Matt. But to your point, I will never stop doing the golf TikToks. I will never stop repping the Range Golf brand that you can follow on Instagram at Range Golf. Okay, I will never stop doing that because they're phenomenal. They got colors that match my colors, which is great. But also, when I get addicted to golf in the summer, because it happens every year, that's all I think about for the next 6 months. So hop on and enjoy the ride, Matt, because it's not going anywhere. Okay.
I might just have to live vicariously through you for this because dude, I'm wanting to get on a golf course so goddamn bad.
Oh, dude, I'm just so happy right now. It's the best. Like, I'm not shooting great golf right now, but I'm starting to figure some things out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some wedges. Wedges are on the way. Things like that. I won poker two weeks in a row, so I'm using that money to get new golf stuff.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, no, we play golf not golf. We play poker every Thursday night now. $50 buy-ins. Pretty decent turnout if you win it. Got lucky enough to win it 2 weeks in a row. But that's all going towards my golf stuff. And I'm just so excited that it's here. Like, I love football. I love football season. But I know when that's over, spring training baseball and golf is about to begin. And I'm happy.
So are you doing dealer's choice poker or Texas Hold'em? What games you playing?
Oh, Texas Hold'em.
There you go. I like that. My favorite poker game that pisses everyone off when we do dealer's choice with the family, and I love it, but everyone else hates it. Omaha high-low.
Never played that.
So, do you know what Omaha Hold'em is? You get dealt 4 cards.
Okay.
You run the turn, the river, or the flop, the turn, and the river, just like you normally would. You can only use 2 cards in your hand to make your 5-card hand. The high hand gets paid, and the low hand gets paid. So the pot's split. But yeah, the highest hand's getting paid and the lowest hand's getting played. So it throws a whole big wrench in how everyone plays poker. But it is the funnest game in the world.
That sounds like a blast.
Because you could be you could be playing the high hand when you get your cards dealt. You could be playing the high hand on the flop. The next card that's turned could completely throw what you're doing off.
And do you have to dictate what 2 cards you're using?
The only time you tell anybody what 2 cards you're using is when you're throwing down to see who the winners are.
Wow, that sounds like a blast. I've only ever played Texas Hold'em poker. Well, I played three card. I played that.
I played 5. Yeah, I played them all, but because we do a lot of the parlor games when it's all of our family together, like on holidays and whatever. But yeah, when you can throw that wrench and everybody hates you, but the great thing about it is the pots get so big because everybody's in it the whole time.
Yep.
And then
awesome.
2 people are happy as hell. The rest are pissed off when it ends.
Like, God damn it! You're telling me my 2-9 offsuit doesn't win shit? It fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's when you're happy when you get 7-2 offsuit.
Hell yeah! I need to try that game out. That sounds
Dude,
like
it's so fun. It's so much fun, and it's the monopoly of poker because everybody gets pissed off. Like that's the best way to describe it.
That was great. That was good. I'm gonna start using that coin for everything in life. Like days, the monopoly of workouts. Everybody gets fucking pissed off. I love it.
Monday's the monopoly of the work week.
Fuck it. We're starting this thing. We're starting this trend. But
we just came out with a whole new line of merch just now, by the way.
We're gonna come up to the next meeting. Hey, any ideas for merch or content ideas? Yep, Matt and I got it taken care of. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you guys are good. We got this one.
But we did have a topic for today that you came up with, Matt. So I want you to go ahead and introduce to the people what we're going to be discussing for the rest of the podcast.
So the topic for today is, and I worded it differently. So I think me and you took this 2 different ways, and I'm kind of actually excited about that. Let me pull it up here on my phone so I get the wording right. What is something that was around before COVID that you will miss now that it's gone? And you respond. This is what your response is. What made me think you're taking it a different way than what I am. Okay. Your response is, "Ooh, I like that a lot. The positives of COVID." So, I guess I'll start this out.
Okay.
So you can see where I was coming from.
Yep. You go ahead.
So you remember going to Home Depot, and there would always be that hot dog stand when you were coming in or leaving.
Yep.
Those went away during COVID. At all Home Depots. And it's the one thing I incredibly, unreasonably miss. Like, I remember memories of going to Home Depot with my dad as a kid whenever we're doing whatever project and walking out, hey, let's grab a hot dog and a pop. Let's grab a hot dog, bag and a chips and a Coke or whatever. Once COVID hit, the first time I realized it, I was devastated. I went in there to get some tools for work. Going out, I'm like, awesome, getting my hot dog, getting my pop, whatever. It's not there. I'm not gonna lie, when I shed a tear because of it. Like I fucking miss it. I was hoping, I'm like, all right, once COVID's gone, they'll bring those vendors back in. No, they haven't. At least not by the Home Depots around me. Let me know if they came back around you, because I'm gonna throw a fucking shit fit on social media against Home Depot to get them brought back in my area if they're still there in other areas. I miss those so goddamn much.
Oh my God. See, I never even knew that. I don't think there was ever hot dog vendors outside of my Home Depot.
They weren't outside. Like, you know how they had like that little alcove thing, like by the registers, like you walk out, when you walk out, they were right there. Like right after the cash registers, right before you walk out the doors that went either way, they were right there. And as on your way out, it's like $2 for a hot dog, $1 for a Coke, and like $1 or something for a bag of chips.
Wow.
And I was devastated when I realized those weren't there. And the sad thing was, it probably took me a couple months into COVID before I realized they weren't there. But because I didn't do it all the time. It was, use my lunch break to go buy some tools, and then I'll grab a hot dog on the way out. But once I realized they were gone, man, I was devastated. Like, I had a 15-minute conversation with my dad about this. Like, I was upset. I'm still upset. Like, it's getting to me now. Like, they weren't the best. They're like gas station hot dogs. They're on the fucking rollers, They're not like grilling them or whatever. But it held some sort of sentimental value that really just got to me when it was gone.
That's fair. That's for see. I'm gonna steer into the direction you were going with this, and then we can talk about the way I was going with this topic, because that just made me realize a couple things of the thing that COVID took away from us.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of what happened. Obviously, the horrible pandemic and everything that happened, but one being, I can't openly judge people that wear masks in public anymore, because now it's just like acceptable. I would always like, oh, fucking germaphobe, what are you wearing a mask for? Like, it's not, fucking take it easy. But now, whenever I see someone wearing a mask, I'm like, oh shit, where's mine? Oh, I don't wear them anymore. That's right. No, you're good. I miss being able to look at people dead in their face and be like, you fucking weirdo. But I can't do that anymore. It's now socially acceptable. Just have them. And that's something I miss. I miss being able to judge people and not feel guilty about it.
Well, and it's funny because I think a lot of Americans were that way. Like, if you go over, I've never been to Asia, but from videos, and my dad's been to Asia and all this stuff. You go to Asian countries, if you have the cold, you can still go to work, but you wear a mask. Like, it's common in other parts of the world.
Right.
Until COVID, we just thought, Americans were like, fuck it, I have a little cold, it's not a big deal, whatever.
See, I feel like if the world was a family, right? The world's a family. We're the black sheep, crazy motherfucker brother that just despises and just doesn't care what anybody else is doing. We just do whatever the fuck we want. It's like, it's not that bad. We're fine. You stay over there and do you. We're gonna stay right here and do us. Fuck, you're right.
right. It's crazy how. I mean, it's crazy how a pandemic really changed a lot of things like that. Like,
yeah.
Completely changed how, like, so I don't know about you, but like I saw a news article, or read a news article. Wow, I can't fucking talk today. And then saw a TikTok video about like how hand dryers, like the air hand dryers, like public bathrooms, how like they spread so much more bacteria and stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
I saw that and I read that article. Dude, I do not use air hand dryers anymore. I go for paper towel, and if there's not any available, I just wipe my hands on my pants or whatever.
I will never forget when I saw the TikTok of they did the Petri dish.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, put it underneath the hair dryer, and then they just, tapped it with a towel. And the difference is, I saw that, and the next day I was traveling for a bachelor party to go to Phoenix, and I got to the bathroom, and I made a video of it. I looked at the hand dryer, I looked at the towels, looked at the hand dryer, then I immediately rushed and ran to the towels. I'm the same way. Like, there's a hand dryer and there's towels at work. I will fucking go and ask somebody for towels before I go to that hand dryer.
Absolutely. I'm the same way. Again, it's one of those crazy little things that completely change how we do things. Like,
oh yeah, like our subconscious thinking now about germs and the spread of diseases after going through the pandemic. Like, we were aware of it before, but now it's like prominent in our brains. Like, oh shit, okay, I need to actually be aware and do things proactively in my life to help stop spreading the colds that are going around or all that stupid shit. So,
and what I would love to do, I could probably do this, I think, but I would love to talk to someone who was around during the Spanish flu. I think it was like during like 30s or 40s or whatever, which was like the last global pandemic, which was nowhere near as bad as this one, and see if it had the same effect on them as it did on us. And I get it's probably going to be different because they didn't have the social media. They didn't have news online at their fingertips in their pocket 24/7. I want to know what the differences are between those two pandemics. Like, did it have the same impact in the U.S. as it did as the Spanish flu did? Like, what are the differences in that?
Yeah, you also have to take into account the medical technology we have now that they didn't back then. Like, could the spread of that flu have been drastically stopped based off of what we have today and the medicines we have today?
Yeah.
And then the social aspect of it is like if the people over here didn't know about it, and these people, no, there was no news or a way to tell these people far, a few states away or wherever it may be. Like, how did that impact the spread of it as well? That's
because
it's like a college level senior class. I'm gonna write my final project type of idea.
Right. Because back then it took like a week for news to get around globally. Like it took.
Pony Express.
It took a long time. Now, I can look up news in London on the Huffington Post or whatever. I can see what's going on in Ukraine or China, wherever. I can get all that right now in a matter of seconds.
Right.
Back then, you had to wait a week.
Right. Which takes me to my next point, where the COVID thing we were talking about. So, something else that COVID took away from me in my life. It's starting to come back now, but it initially took away the coworkers at my job that could say, I could just do this fucking job at home. Why the fuck do I need to come to the office? It's 35 minutes away. Why the fuck do I have to be here when I could be at home? And then COVID happened. They're working from home. They're all happy. And then they came back to work like, oh, I fucking miss the office, man. I miss seeing you guys. It's great. I love coming to work. Now it's starting to creep back in. It's like, God, COVID? I want you again. I don't want to drive anymore. It's starting to pick back up again. But initially, it took away the people at work that would always I could just do this fucking job from home, man. What?
See, and I was actually kind of gonna ask my dad about that because, so you know me, I'm a mechanic for work. I travel to customers. I'm usually working by myself.
Okay.
So it's like I've never really experienced the office life. So that and I'm glad you brought that up because my thing is like, yeah, you can do all those jobs from home, right? But I feel like if you're used to that office environment, you're gonna start to miss that if that's all you do is work from home now. And so you can still do your job from home, but like, how big of an impact did it have? Did it feel really good to be able to work from home for a little bit? And then now that stuff's opening back up and you can go back to the office, does it feel really good to get back to the office again?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just kind of human nature. We always want what we don't have situation. We always find the pros in situations that we're not currently in, and the cons the ones that we are. So, when I was working from home initially, like it was great. And what's so great about working from home, from my point of view, is you can be some people use it as you can dick off when you're working at home. For me, I'm more efficient when I'm from home because all the side conversations that throw me off of my deep work stages while I'm in the office does make a drastic impact that people don't realize. And when my breaks are breaks at home compared to when they're breaks at the office, when they're breaks at the office, you're shooting the shit at the water cooler. You're shooting the shit doing nothing. You're just kind of, I just need to be away from my desk. Let's go talk about sports or something.
Walk over to Jimmy's cubicle, talk about how the Chiefs are doing or whatever.
Yeah, fuck you, James. Like that kind of thing.
Right.
But now, but my breaks from home were, I'm going to throw a load of laundry in. I'm going to go fucking refill the toilet paper. I'm going to go make lunch and then do the dishes real quick. Like even your breaks when you work from home were productive for me. So when I'm off work, I don't have to go and do that kind of shit. I can actually be off work and off productive and go to the gym, come home, relax, stream, whatever. But when you work from the office, your breaks are you shooting the shit. And then when you get home, you still have that shit to do, the laundries, the dishes, and then you can work out and then you can do. So it just prolongs your day of doing stuff you don't want to do by going to the office.
It's like, oh, look, I got an hour to burn. I can go cut the lawn real quick and then come back and get into my next meeting or whatever.
Yeah, for my lunch, like you've been to my house, there's a Walmart down the street. Yeah. For my lunch break, I would walk down to Walmart, get some groceries I needed for dinner, and then I'd walk back. And not only would I get outside, get some steps in, but then I wouldn't have to shop later for dinner. I'd have all my food there and I'd be ready to go. It was a more efficient day when I worked from home, so I enjoyed it. But then again, I do miss the camaraderie of bullshitting with my colleagues at work because they're good people. I work with great people.
Yeah. Well, I did see a little bit of a difference in it, especially when I switched to my new job. So I've been at this job for about a year now, and I go into a lot of factories. And so there was a lot of times where usually my contacts are the office people who kind of just manage the machines and control where they're going and making sure their certification is up to date and everything on all of them. And that's what I do is I come in, recertify them and all that. Uh-huh. And for a little bit there, it was we weren't talking to the office people. We'd call them and say, hey, I'll be on site at this time, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, okay, here's blah, blah, blah's phone number. Call him when you're there. And then he'll get you going and show you where the machine is and get you going. And even still, they still had to mandate the whole 6 feet thing or, social distancing thing. And so once I was on that machine, I wouldn't see anybody again. Even if there was multiple machines in that room because they were, concerned about spreading a virus or whatever. Now it's getting back to the point where I'm seeing the operators on a regular basis. They're coming in. I can shoot the shit with them while I'm working and get distracted for a minute or two.
Yeah.
So it even for me, there was a difference, but it wasn't as big of a difference as there was for like office workers,
Yeah. It might have been less, but then again, those little bullshit side stories or whatever can also help you like network so well.
Absolutely.
If you make good friends with a ton of people, especially in your job, you're traveling to a bunch of different businesses, and shit hits the fan in your current job, and you've made good connections or with somebody at another company that you might want to work and reach out for, they could be a champion for you and like help you.
For sure.
Get jobs and stuff. So, like I said, there's pros and cons to everything. I think I was a more efficient person when I worked from home, but I did drastically miss seeing my colleagues every day. So the COVID kind of opened businesses' eyes to it, to the efficiency increases they could see, and it also helped them, increase their margins by getting rid of office spaces they realized they didn't really need. Like, they're great, but it wasn't a necessity for people to do their jobs. So then they could cut those out, those leases, and grow their margins or whatnot of revenue. So COVID definitely changed the perspective of the whole "where can I work from" situation.
Do you think it's going to be to a point where like they mandate like you're in the office 3 days a week or something, and you work from home 2 days a week, or inverse of that? Do you think that's going to
do that at my job?
What they're doing that there at your job?
They already do it.
Okay.
We have desks at the office that they call it. It's a hotel desk. So Tuesdays and Thursdays it's this guy's desk, but Monday, Wednesday, Fridays it's someone else's desk. And they have hotel schedules, is what they call them.
Okay.
So people are already like, they're one of our groups that are next to us. They are mandated to be in the office 3 days a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday and Friday they can work from home. My team, we have to be in the office every day. So it's already a thing, and it's already full force. And I think everybody's doing it. At least a lot of people that are in my space or my industry in software, they're doing it.
Yeah, I was wondering that because like my dad works for Ford, and they closed down a bunch of their office buildings. Actually, they're selling a bunch of their stuff off. Really? Because I think my dad is no longer going to be going to the office much. Like if they have to have big meetings or whatever, he'll be in the office. But for the most part, he works from home all day. And I know for me, I would be a worthless piece of shit working from home.
Really?
I would get so distracted by other things. I'd be doing other things and trying to put work on the back burner. But yeah, I don't think I could do the whole work from home thing. But it's also the same reason I don't think I could work in an office. I've worked factory jobs before, and I hated it just because of the repetition of it. It's the same thing every day for 8 to 10 hours. And that's why I love that. I think that's why I'm a mechanical person, is it's always something different. It's a new problem every day. And even if it's the same problem, the cause isn't always the same. It's something different every day. It's changing how I'm thinking about things. I'm never in the same mindset because everything is different every time.
Right.
I'm
with you. I think kind of what the direction I was taking with our segment today is the positives of COVID. And it's kind of funny because you taste positive for COVID, you're kind of the reason we're in the pandemic. But the positives of COVID for me personally is this is going to come off totally, I don't want to ignorant maybe, or it's going to come off very standoffish for people.
Dude, go for it. I wanted to have this show because it's more of I haven't seen many shows that do how did COVID change your life or change the world, kind of. And so that's what I want this episode to be about. Not necessarily the good things, the bad things, but how did it change how we do our everyday life, or how do we go about the world because of COVID?
COVID was the best thing that happened to me. Well, second best thing that ever happened to me. COVID pushed me into a corner and said, I fucking dare you to do something you've never done.
Okay.
I couldn't go out and see friends. So how did I connect with friends? I connected with them via video games because that's how we could talk to each other without just a fucking FaceTime where you get bored as hell looking at a phone or holding a phone when you got a TV in the background. You're just doing this the whole time. Like, how could I still interact with the people I want to interact with in my life? And video games allowed me to do that. And not only did that allow me to do that, but it challenged me. It's like, okay, you're doing this so much, it's starting to feel like you're not a productive person. How can you make this productive for you in your eyes? So it pushed me to fucking turn a camera on, throw it on a service where the people can watch me do what I do and interact with me and see what happens. And then my whole life changed dramatically from the first time I hit start streaming to now. Like, I would have never met Rico, I would have never met this company that I'm broadcasting or branding for now. So many opportunities. I wouldn't have this microphone. I wouldn't have any of this equipment. I wouldn't have this room, this house probably. It propelled me to a whole different industry I never thought I would get into, but it also helped me make connections with people that absolutely changed my life for the better. So COVID itself was a terrible thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But for me, it changed my life for the better.
So, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. And I think a lot of people have started doing, whether it's doing their own remodels or doing their own, learning how to make repairs on basic household things like how to rewire a switch or stuff. People are taking the time to learn that stuff. And this is going to sound weird, but I didn't move out of my parents' house till COVID started. Like, I'm a person, I'm not a big fan of change. Like, I kind of get set and I like it. I don't like having to change stuff. And I was tired of being around my family. Like, I was 27, 28, I think, when I moved out. Which, by all means, old. I should have been out of the house before then. Don't get me wrong. But it forced me to be like, all right, I need to do something here. I'm getting in arguments that I shouldn't be getting into. It's just stupid shit's happening. Stupid shit's annoying me. I need to change something. And then that option was, I need to get out of the house. So, like,
100%.
That's what made me and Billy move in together. And we had talked about doing that years before, like a few years before, and it just, for whatever reason, fell through. And getting out of the house and, like, I wasn't financially dependent on my parents by any means. If I needed it or if I wanted whatever, I could go and get it. I had a job that paid me good money, but when you move out, it made me realize, like, I do have to manage stuff a little bit different. Like, I had bills now that I didn't have before. You know, I couldn't go to the bar 3 or 4 nights a week with friends and just blow my money on drinking or whatever. I had other responsibilities. It forced me to realize that there is a life outside of that I wasn't living a typical 28-year-old's life at that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it forced me more into the real world than what I thought I was. I thought I was doing that already, but I wasn't.
Yeah. No, it was an eye-opening experience for a lot of people. And talk about a hell of a time to release a new social media platform like TikTok. Like, TikTok was a thing before COVID.
Yeah, wasn't it called like Musical.ly or something like that?
I know Musical.ly was a thing. I don't know if it transitioned into TikTok.
I think it's the same company, and they just changed the name and kind of redid the whole thing.
It could have been, but all I know is TikTok was a thing before the pandemic, and it was just one of those platforms that people like. You have TikTok? Gross. Like, that's like dancing and kids. That's weird that you have it. But when the pandemic struck, holy shit, did that propel not only a mountain of new users, but a mountain of new creators that started making content outside of the traditional quote unquote TikTok content of dancing and all that shit. There's now people there's a TikTok for everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's no longer the question of, okay, I'm gonna work out today. What are good workouts for your shoulders? Like, I have no fucking idea. I'm just gonna wing it. Type that shit in TikTok. 17 shoulder workouts will pop up from 17 different people. Recipes you want to cook for lunch because you're being lazy, and these are all the ingredients you have. There's a TikTok for it.
Basic home repairs, stuff like that. Yeah, there's everything.
Basic home repairs, and there's a TikTok for everything. Setting fantasy football lineups, anything you can think of. That platform found a way to spin what they're doing to drastically help share knowledge and improve people's lives, and it couldn't have come at a better time than COVID. So I think the biggest, or one of the biggest, upsides from that pandemic was that little dancing app.
And I know this is taking it a different way, but OnlyFans also blew up during COVID.
Oh, 100, yeah.
Like
absolutely.
OnlyFans wasn't really anything before COVID, and then
No.
granted, it went a different way than they intended it to go, but now it's one of the biggest porn websites on the market. Like it's huge. It changed the porn industry to be in reality.
Yeah,
It made it so that the average person can go on there and make money doing sexual stuff. You know, it just completely changed the whole model of it.
It was the content creator boom, and
Yeah.
people are making content on Twitch, they're making it on TikTok, they're doing live stuff, they're doing video games. But these actresses and actors that decided to go down this path of making money the way that they want to do it and getting a platform like OnlyFans to make money. So they would go and they would make movies for these production companies that put it up for free on a website. Now they found a way of people love to see me and like what I do and enjoy me like as a person. I can make my own content, make my own money doing it. It's just, it gave people the independency to do what they want to do and make their own money their way. And like you said, it changed the porn industry forever.
Because
now,
it changed it to the point where like it's not the stereotypical Jenna Jameson body type, you know, or Ava Adams or whoever. It's not that stereotypical body type anymore. It's everybody realizes now there's someone for every style of body type.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And there's still free porn websites out there, and everybody, like, free porn is still a thing. But the fact that OnlyFans is booming the way it was is like a proven thing. Like, people will pay money for what they want, even if there's a free alternative.
Oh yeah,
Which is wild.
It changed. Social media was already a big thing, but it completely changed social media at the same time.
Yep.
It made you can now make. I don't feel like before social media you had before COVID you had your big social media guys like Jake and Logan Paul, KSI, you know, PewDiePie. Those were the big guys that could make a living out of social media. You know, now there's it just blew that bubble apart based off of who could make their living. It didn't. I don't know that it made social media bigger, but what it did was it made the areas. It made it more diverse. The areas where you can make your living off of social media is now completely different than what it was before.
Oh, absolutely. The opportunity to make a career off social media is drastically different now than pre-COVID. Like, people were doing it before COVID, like it was a thing, but it just opened the eyes to people's possibilities of what they could do with the social media platforms that we have today. And the craziest thing is I feel like we're only touching the surface of the potential of social media right now, because social media has only been around for what, roughly 15 years, 12, 15 years.
15, 20, I'd probably say. I mean, going back to MySpace, you know.
Yeah. So they were the first ones, you know, the trailblazers that started. And now there's obviously the ones we're at now. But just thinking 15, 20 years down the road, how drastically different or how drastically more that the social media might have on impacting our lives than it already does is astounding to me. And I definitely think that it's just going to keep getting bigger.
Well, I mean, even
bigger aspects of people's life.
Even like going back to me, like, I've never been a huge social media guy. I've always had the accounts and stuff and just never really been active on them. But like, you know, recently, starting this year, as a show, we made you have to put at least one video out a week, right?
Yep.
You guys saw my reaction when I had my first 1,000 view TikTok.
Fuck yeah.
And now it's like every video or every other video, I'm getting 1,000+ views now. The confidence boost you get from it. Like, dude, when I woke up that morning, I had one video that felt like it took me for 3 days. I was stuck at like 995, and then all of a sudden I got those 5 views, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" I hit that 1,000 view mark. Now my goal is I want to get 1,500. You know,
you see his face right here, Matt?
No, I know you're proud of me.
Do you see his face?
Yes, I see it.
Dad face.
I see it. And you got the mustache. The whole dad vibe is working right now.
It's a proud dad face. Because Rico and I, so let's put this on the table and then we'll put a bow on the show. We'll wrap it up. Rico and I pushed and continue to push you and Billy so much, not because we feel like the show needs more exposure, but because we see so much potential in what you and Billy could do. We're just trying to help you guys get out of your own way. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud that you're starting to not only see and value your worth and get the confidence that you're getting on social media, but you have something to provide this world. And that's why Rico and I were just pushing you so hard, because you have a lot to give people. And the fact that you weren't doing it made us mad, because you're taking that away from other people. So I'm proud of you for doing what you're doing. You're at a great pace. You're getting confidence. And when you start to get confidence, start to get more ideas, you start getting more excited, and you tend to think about doing it more. And I know you're going to continue to do what you're doing. So I'm proud of you, dude. You're kicking ass. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And just ask us for advice when you need it. But don't let great get in the way of good. Just fucking keep going. And if you need help, you got people that'll help you. Proud of you,
dude. The smile, I know. The smile is genuine. Like, I think me and you have gone a long way since you joined the show, to be honest with you. Like, this show wouldn't have happened probably without COVID happening. No. You know? And I know I've told you this on the show. I said this during the eulogy episode, which I've gotten a lot of people that I know say that's one of our best episodes, by the way.
Fuck yeah. That was fun.
But I didn't want you on the show when I first met you. Like, it was fun to interview you and stuff. You were in Alaska. We made you get up at like 4 a.m. to be on the show because we were recording at like 8.
Yeah.
But, dude, as I've gotten to know it, I know it's turning into kind of a suckfest here, but, you know, you have made me realize more of what I can do than what I've been doing before. Like, and as shallow as this may seem, starting to get the views and getting the recognition on TikTok has been a huge confidence boost for me. I've always been someone with self-confidence issues, not because I can't do stuff. It's more because I don't think people will appreciate what I'm doing, you know? And yeah, 1,000 views. I know you're blowing that out of the water with whatever views you're getting. To me, that's a big step for me. You know, I'm no longer seeing it as Hugh and Rich are getting, 4, 5, 6,000 views. I'm getting 1,000. I'm getting, on a regular basis now, 1,000 people who want to see my stuff. I know that's like 0.5% of the people on the planet watching it. I don't care. That's a lot of fucking people still.
Just close your eyes right now, okay? Imagine you're on a stage and you have to present to 1,000 people. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, yes.
That's a lot of fucking people. Just having 50 people in a room staring at you is a lot of fucking people. Like, don't ever underestimate. I was talking, one more little comment before we wrap up the show. I was talking to my friend yesterday, Alex. She's a content creator, put me through a workout, and I was talking to her about, okay, what's your biggest social media? Well, I obviously knew all the analytics and the followers she has. I'm like, okay, so which one's your favorite? What do you like to use? Obviously, your biggest is TikTok. You have 15,000 people. She goes, oh, that's not even that much. I looked her dead in the eyes. I go, what did you just say? She goes, oh, 15,000 on TikTok is nothing. I looked at her and I go, that's a lot. Like, people gotta quit comparing themselves to the people that I don't want to say, the people that influence them. Like, if people make gym content and they saw someone else doing, like, oh, I want to do that, but I want to do it my own way. Like, she started doing it and she started doing it her own way, and she's a badass. But she took the point. She's like a slight to herself. Like, I only have 15,000. 15,000 people following you, regardless of the platform, is fucking awesome and phenomenal. You know how many people have 15,000 people that follow them on TikTok on the planet? Less than 1%, probably. If I had to put it, less than 1%. And the fact that you kick yourself down for that because you see other people that got more than you gotta flip the script on that. Change the mindset.
And that's what I'm looking at.
So many people.
Because like on my TikTok, I'm following 1,700 people on TikTok. Way more than I probably should be. But I have 430 people following me. Like, to me, that's a big deal.
Fuck yeah, it is.
And maybe it's because I'm new and naive, and hopefully I'd stay like you, being like, dude, there's people out there. Just be grateful there's people out there who want to watch your stuff, watch your shit, Like,
oh yeah.
That's a big deal to me. Like, I don't have 430 followers on almost any other platform. I have it on TikTok, and it's because people want to watch what I do.
Goddamn right it is. You didn't get lucky. People like what you provide to the world. That's it, plain and simple.
I do have one more question for you before we go, and it's something you sent out in a text message.
Okay.
Are you flying to Michigan without telling us you're flying to Michigan?
All right, guys, see you in the show, guys. I appreciate you for rocking us. Have a great fucking week when this show comes out. Don't forget the download button. We appreciate you guys for rocking us. We love you. I don't know the outro because I never listened to Rico in the first place, so we're gonna do it our own way. Hey, Matt, I love you. I appreciate you. DJ.
Spin that shit. One last thing before we go. I know episodes have been a little bit delayed getting out. Rico does our editing. He's had some family stuff going on. I won't get into detail about it, but we will get these out as quickly as we can to get them up and get them going again, get back on our regular schedule. Again, honestly, oversharing merch. Go into all our bios. It's all there. Make sure to check it out. We got some awesome gear out and hopefully more to come soon. I think we're going to start talking about maybe a spring/summer thing going soon. Make sure to check it out. Yeah. I will do you want to redo the DJ thing and I'll do that?
Absolutely do. Great fucking plug, dude.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I jumped the gun. I should ask you any closing remarks. I'm an asshole.
Yes, you are.
That was great. So, Matt.
Yeah.
You've been you. We've been us. DJ.
Spin that shit.